Christian, the beloved Italian Julio Iglesias, dies aged 82. Cause of death and final words revealed. The music world is mourning the loss of Christian, the Italian singer affectionately known as the Italian Julio Iglesias, who has died at the age of 82. A household name in Italy and beyond during the 1980s and 1990s, Christian's romantic ballads and smooth voice captured the hearts of millions. His family confirmed the heartbreaking news, revealing the cause of death and sharing his emotional final words. For fans across generations, his passing marks the end of an era of Italian pop music defined by tenderness, passion, and timeless love songs. A life rooted in music and dreams. Born Gaetano Cristiano Vincenzo Rossi on March 13, 1943 in Palermo, Sicily, Christian's life was defined by music from the very beginning. The son of a working-class family, he grew up listening to traditional Sicilian folk songs, opera, and later the emerging sounds of Italian pop that would dominate the airwaves in the 1960s. As a young boy, Christian displayed remarkable vocal talent, often singing at family gatherings and in his local church choir. His early performances earned him admiration in his community, but opportunities were scarce. Determined to pursue his dream, Christian left his hometown in search of a career in music, moving first to Rome and later Milan, where the Italian recording industry was beginning to thrive. It was during these years of struggle that Christian refined not only his voice, but also his stage presence, adopting the smooth, romantic style that would later draw comparisons to Spain's Julio Iglesias. The breakthrough, a new voice of romance. Christian's breakthrough came in the late 1970s, when he signed with a record label that recognized the market for Italian-language love songs. His debut singles resonated with listeners who were drawn to his soft, emotive delivery. But it was his appearance at the Sanremo Music Festival in the early 1980s that cemented his place in Italian popular culture. At Sanremo, Christian stood out with his tender performances, his carefully crafted image, and his ability to make every song feel deeply personal. Critics began calling him the Italian Julio Iglesias, a nickname that initially surprised him, but one he later embraced with pride. Like Iglesias, Christian built a career on themes of romance, longing, and emotional connection, sung with a voice that could move listeners to tears. A career of international reach. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Christian became one of Italy's most recognizable voices. His ballads, Cara, Amore senza fine, and Guarda che ti amo, topped charts and were broadcast widely across Europe and Latin America. He often recorded Spanish versions of his songs to connect with Iglesias' audience, further fueling the comparison between the two crooners. Christian performed not only in Italy but also in Spain, South America, and even parts of Asia, where his music found enthusiastic fans. His concerts were known for their intimacy, dim lighting, soft orchestration, and a sense that he was singing directly to every person in the audience. Unlike many pop stars of his generation, Christian's fame was not built on scandal or controversy, but on sincerity. Fans adored him for his humility, his gentlemanly persona, and his devotion to romance as an art form. Cause of death. Christian's family confirmed that he died peacefully at his home in Rome after complications from a long battle with heart disease. Though he had faced health struggles in recent years, he continued to remain active in music, occasionally giving interviews and even performing in smaller venues. In their official statement, the family shared, "It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of our beloved Christian. He died after complications related to chronic heart disease. He fought bravely for many years, always surrounded by love, music, and family. His voice will live forever in the songs that touched so many hearts." In a poignant moment before his passing, Christian reportedly spoke to his family with remarkable clarity. According to his daughter, his final words were, "Sing for love, always for love. It is the only thing that never dies." Those words, fitting for a man who dedicated his life to love songs, have been embraced by fans as a final gift and a poetic summary of his life's mission. Personal life. The man beyond the stage, behind the polished image, Christian's personal life reflected both joy and struggle. He married twice and was a devoted father to 2 children, both of whom described him as a gentle, loving presence at home. His family recalled that despite his fame, he preferred quiet evenings with loved ones over lavish parties. He enjoyed cooking Sicilian dishes, walking along the beach, and reading poetry. His faith was also an important part of his identity, and he often spoke about gratitude for the blessings he had received in life. But fame also brought challenges. In candid interviews, Christian admitted to periods of loneliness while on tour, as well as the difficulty of maintaining relationships while living under the public eye. Still, he often credited music as his anchor, the one constant in a life of change. Tributes from around the world. News of Christian's death sparked an outpouring of grief from colleagues, fans, and public figures. Fellow Italian singer Albano Carisi wrote, "Christian was a true gentleman of music. He reminded us that songs are not just entertainment, but expressions of the soul." Laura Pausini, an international star of Italian pop, said, "He inspired so many of us. His tenderness, his voice, his songs, they will never leave us." In Spain, Julio Iglesias himself paid tribute, remarking, "Christian was a brother in music. Though people compared us, I always admired his authenticity and his devotion to his art." The world has lost a voice of love. Fans across Italy shared stories on social media of playing his songs at weddings, anniversaries, and quiet nights at home, a reminder of how deeply intertwined his music became with people's most intimate moments. Legacy, the Italian voice of romance. Christian's impact on Italian pop culture cannot be overstated. For decades, he represented a genre of music that valued tenderness and sincerity over spectacle. He helped bring Italian love songs to international audiences, bridging cultures through universal themes of romance. Younger artists often cite him as an influence, especially those who aspire to combine classic balladry with modern sounds. In many ways, Christian paved the way for Italian singers to find global audiences while staying true to their roots. His catalog remains a treasure trove of romantic classics that continue to be streamed and rediscovered by new generations. His voice, smooth yet powerful, continues to resonate with anyone who has ever loved deeply or longed passionately. A family united in grief, a nation in mourning. Christian is survived by his children and grandchildren, who are now working with his management team to preserve his musical legacy. Plans have been announced for a tribute concert in Rome later this year, with proceeds going to heart disease research. The Italian government has also announced that Christian will be honored with a state-recognized cultural award for his contributions to Italian music. The announcement noted, "Christian brought Italian song to the world. His work elevated our culture and reminded us of the power of love expressed through art." The death of Christian, the beloved Italian Julio Iglesias, at 82 marks the end of an extraordinary chapter in Italian and international music. His songs, filled with longing and tenderness, defined an era and became the soundtrack to countless lives. His cause of death, complications from heart disease, underscores the fragility of life, but his final words, "Sing for love, always for love. It is the only thing that never dies," echo as a timeless message. As Italy and the world mourn, his legacy shines brightly. Christian was more than a singer. He was a storyteller of the heart, a man who believed in love above all else. And though he is gone, his music ensures that his voice will never be silenced. For generations to come, when lovers dance slowly under the stars, when families gather in joy, and when solitude calls for comfort, Christian's songs will play, and he will live again through every note.